Here's how you can convert web search results into LLM friendly, clean markdown, which is perfect for doing competitor analysis. Basically, anything that you need to do with search results, web scraping them, sending them off to an AI like OpenAI or Claude. Here's how you can get that data. We're going to be using the Reader API by Jina. They've got a number of amazing tools. I've already showcased one of them, which was just converting a single web page into nice clean markdown. But in this bubble tutorial video, I'm going to show you how we can do a search result. So if I just show you what's going to happen, we've entered our query here. They've got an amazing, I'm not even in the developer portal, I'm just on their homepage and we can test out their tools. And in this video, I'll be showing you how we can add this into the Bubble API connector and show it nicely in a repeating group. But right now we're just testing it out, and I've done this before, which is when will GPT-5 be released? That's my search query. And then I get back all of this data here, and we see that it nicely divides it up. We get the title, description, publish date, etc. But we then get tons of content from the page. You can see that it's all there, and you can see also that it's in markdown. There is like a H3 header symbolized by the 3 hash signs. Okay, so how do we translate this into our Bubble app? Well, let's go into our app here, and we'll go into plugins. And this is from my previous video where I'm converting just a single page into markdown. So we're going to add another API call, and I'm going to make this a it is still a GET request. I think let's just double check. Yeah, because effectively all you're doing is supplying an API key with setting your query at the end of this URL. So I'm going to copy. Well, in fact, I just need to copy that bit there. I'm going to copy that, paste it in, and we'll say convert search results to LLM friendly markdown. This is going to be an action because we'll run this as part of a workflow. Now we want to dynamically insert our query in at the end here, and we use square brackets in the this part of the API connector as denoted there. And so we'll say search query, and that gives us a field that we can fill in our workflow. It's not private because this is data that the user submits, meaning we don't protect this data from our user. What we do protect from our user is our API key, and this API call, unlike the other one, which is rate limited, although freely accessible, we do have to supply an API key. And so for that, we would add in bearer space and then our API key. You're going to see that written in here when you're looking at this on the Jina.ai page, but I'm just going to fill it in, and I'm adding a little bit of custom CSS if you're interested through the Arc browser. That is making it look like one big password. So what I'm going to do is grab my API key and add it into my Bubble app. So I've gone ahead and done that, and it's in here. So the key name is authorization. The private key is bearer space, but you see that on the Jina page. And make sure you set it as private key in header, because we need to declare to Bubble that we don't want our API key to be accessible to our users. It's effectively a password, and if you're paying for the service, you want to be able to control how your users are engaging with that service and not just give them free reign. So let's scroll back down here. There's our search query. So let's enter it in because we want to initialize our call. And so I'm going to say, when will GPT-5 be released? And then there are a few other parameters that I want to carry across. For example, I want a JSON response. I'm just wondering how that gets declared. If I toggle that, how does it? Okay, so I add to my header except application JSON. So let's copy that across. So add into my header here except application JSON. And I'm doing that because I want it to nicely break up. You see this data arrow here, it's a list of objects, and each object represents a website that is returned. And we also want it to remove all images, so we'll add that into. So I'm going to copy that, go back into here. So here goes application JSON, and then whoops, and then into here we put our retain images. Now, there's no private data in here. We can just leave it as private though, to just means our users won't get to see the values. It's not relevant in this case. Right, now let's initialize the call. So this is our like dummy data, our sample. We need to initialize the call, otherwise we can't use it in a workflow. So let's initialize the call. And when I demoed this on the Jina page, it did say it took about 10-15 seconds because it is going out and fetching all of this fresh data. And so we do have to allow a little bit of time to do that. If you're building this into an app for your users, you might want to consider putting this in a backend workflow, showing some sort of loading animation, because this is taking some time. But here we go. This is perfect. This is what we expected, which is that it returns back this object array with, this data array with all of these objects. And look, this is this page here on exploding topics, and we get all of the content. So remember, you can use this for your competitor analysis. You can use this to fetch data in on a particular topic for your AI queries. You could use it as background noise to get the latest data. All of that is possible because we get all of this lovely data. So I'm going to click save because this is teaching Bubble how what the response looks like, how it is structured, because we're going to put this into our repeating group. So let's go onto our page. Now I built this, in fact, let's just do another page so that it's not confusing. We'll say convert web search results into markdown. Okay, now obviously if you're building an app for your users, you wouldn't be using fixed, you'd be using rows and columns, but just so that I can get this built really quickly, we're going to use fixed. So I'm going to add in my input, which is where I will put my search term, search query, and then I want to be able to show the results. So I'll say repeating group, and the repeating group needs to be set to the data type of the returned results. Now, this is a demo app that I've used lots of times, so it might be a little bit hard to find the exact type of content. So here's a trick. We're going to go in for data source first, which, no, we're not actually. No, we're not. We'll use type of content and we'll just match it correctly. So basically, I'm looking for a type of content called convert search results. So let's go here and we'll search for convert search results. Okay. This is an annoying thing with Bubble because one of these is the whole response and one of them is data. I'm going to guess that it's the second one. Yeah, there we go. I can even use the internal labeling in Bubble to see exactly what it is. I need this to be right because my workflow is going to put the data straight into it. In the video where I did a web scraping of a single page into LLM friendly data, I used the custom state, but I'm going to insert the data straight into this repeating group. And in order to see whether that works, let's add in some labels. So you can see here, we just get the title, and let's get the content to, there we go. Let's make this a little bit wider. And then so we can tell the difference, we'll just make the title bold. Perfect. Now this is not going to look amazing because it's a fixed layout, and fixed layouts are terrible when it comes to being responsive, but I'll say here, get search results. And also to be technical, we'll say this should not be empty. So let's add in our workflow. We're going to go into plugins and find the plugin that's being added here because we've added it through the API connector. So Jina, convert search results, there we go. And in here, we're going to add in our inputs as our search query. And then we'll say display list in a repeating group. We're skipping the custom state stage. We're just going to put the data from Jina's data. So remember, we've got the whole response. We're focusing down on the array, the list that is data. Okay, and then that's it. I think that that is going to work. So let's hit preview. And we'll say, when is GPT-5 being released? Get search results. Once more, we're going to have to wait. Like I said before, you could put this in the backend workflow. You could use a Lottie animation. You could use some CSS animations like a loader. If you just search that in Google, you'll find some really nice animations that you can add in so that your user isn't just waiting for this crawl across the top of the page. Because of course, Bubble doesn't actually know how long it's going to take for the results to come back. So it's just putting a crawl that it thinks could take long enough across the top of the page. And it will time out in the end if it takes too long, but I'm hoping here that we will get our response back because we haven't got an error. So that means there's unlikely to be a mistake with the API call. We are just waiting for Jina to respond. And I think because it is live data, it's taking its time. So let's just wait on it. Cool. There we go. We've got our data back. And yes, it's looking funny because we've got it set to a fixed layout. If I just change it, it's going to anchor it all in the top corner. But, oh, and I'd have to run the API request again. The point being is that you can see that we get back data. It's all overlap. If you did this in rows and columns, it wouldn't be overlapping. We've got the data. So now you could take this data and you could submit it to another LLM call, and you could say kind of compare these websites for a competitor analysis with AI, add that into your app. You could do it to, like I say, gather additional background information on a topic, get live data back. If you want to do some more kind of search, semantic search, API stuff, we've got some tutorials using Serpa Dev. I think that gets search results straight from Google. I'm not actually sure where Jina gets its search results from. We also have some videos using Exa AI. That's like a semantic search indexing of the web. So there's tons that you can do with Bubble. And if you're excited by it, do click the link down in the description to learn more about building apps with Bubble, just like this very basic one that we've built here.